How's everybody doing? All right, let's go ahead and get started. So this is just a basic introduction, guys. We're not going to get too deep into any specifics, although I will be glad to answer any questions that you guys have. So we're going to discuss what the dropshipping business model is, what you need to get started, what your focuses should be. Hopefully, I'm able to simplify and uncomplicate the process for you guys so that you can effectively organize your workload, right? When you're approaching a new project, like a new business, essentially, it can be overwhelming and you don't know what you should be doing, what steps. And I've laid everything out very clearly in my course, but I'm also aware that not everybody is financially capable of purchasing the course because it is quite expensive. It's very in-depth. It is literally step-by-step everything that you need to know. But we're going to cover the basics here today to give you guys at least a good head start, get you moving in the right direction. And then again, I'll be happy to answer any questions that you guys have. All right, guys. So the basics of dropshipping: that you find products that you want to sell, you put them in your store as if they were your own, even though you don't take inventory of these products. You just put them in your store. You take the pictures, you write a description, you act as if you own this product. You run ads for the products that you like, that you feel like you can sell. And if you get a purchase, if somebody makes a purchase in your store, that is when you secure the inventory and you have it shipped directly to the customer. So an example of that is you search. The most common website for product research for finding products is AliExpress, because these products are extremely cheap. They're sourced from China, from most of them directly from factories. So it's very easy to mark them up 3 to 4 times what they cost you. And so maybe it costs you $10 to secure this product and you're selling it for $40 in your ads. Somebody buys it for $40. Maybe it costs you $20 in ad spend to sell that product. And then you get to keep the difference, right? So if somebody pays you $40, you take that money, you go buy the product, you have it shipped to the customer, and you keep the difference. So the beauty of dropshipping is how low risk it is. The only risk you're really making is the time that you're investing and the money that you spend on ads. Of course, there's a little bit of cost in maintaining a store, but it's very minimal. I think, Shopify is like $30 a month. And if you choose to add some apps to your store, then those, you can just make conscious decisions on whether or not you can afford those apps. And yeah, so that's the beauty of e-commerce. It's great for people with a very low budget that want to start a business, that want to take control of their lives, essentially in a financial way. You can really escape, you can escape the average job, the 9-to-5, by building a legitimate business online. And the key here is treating this like a legitimate business. You're actually doing the math. You're actually, you're working hard. You're putting in the hours. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's very scalable. The beauty of it, another thing about e-commerce is it's very scalable. You can sell products worldwide. We're talking about, hundreds of millions of people and that are buying stuff on the internet. And so it's very easy to make a lot of money if you get it right, if you find the right product and you put it in front of the right audience. So those are the basics, guys. That is generally what dropshipping is. So the first step is going to be putting together a store for your e-commerce business. Most people use Shopify because it is the easiest platform to learn. It's very fast. It's very smooth. It's very easy to upload products, to design the layout of your website. All of that stuff is very easy. My team can put together a very professional looking store in a matter of hours. And it's just become the kind of go-to, especially for dropshipping. There are some other options like WooCommerce, BigCommerce. There are people that dropship on Amazon and on eBay. I'm not experienced in those areas. I know that Amazon takes a good chunk of the money from every sale. I'm not really sure about how eBay works, but you guys are welcome to look into it. I feel like they're not as scalable in a rapid fashion. I think Amazon's great for brand building, and maybe like in a supportive fashion for drop shipping. Like you could run your own drop shipping store on Shopify and clean up some extra sales on Amazon, but that's a lot more advanced So it's not necessarily something you guys should be looking into at the beginning. It's much better to just focus on Shopify. So when you set up your Shopify store, you're going to need to come up with a name for your brand. And typically the name for your brand is also going to be your domain. So as you're doing research or you're going through the creative process of coming up with names for your store, you need to be cross-checking that with domains to make sure that it's actually available. It's best to have a .com for your domain, but it's not entirely necessary. Also, don't get stuck in this process. A lot of people will spend weeks trying to think up of a store name. It's not that important. I don't want to say that it's not important, but it's not as important as a lot of people make it out to be. So decide on a store name. Simple is always best. Try not to make it sound spammy or like trendy in a way, you know what I mean? Like look at big retailers, look at big brands, successful companies, and try to model after them. So go ahead and secure your domain after you've decided on a store name. And then you're going to need to get a logo made. I typically make these myself just because I go for a very simple style. I don't like cartoony stuff. I just want really plain and simple and clean looking logos. So I generally do that myself in Photoshop. But if you're not interested in learning that skill set, or if you don't have Photoshop, then go to Fiverr and you can get someone to make one for like $5 or $10. It's very cheap. Fiverr.com is a website of freelancers. So you can hire people to do pretty much anything for you there. You'll need a business email. So once you've created or once you've bought your domain from GoDaddy or Namecheap or some other domain service provider, you'll want to go to gsuite.com and create a business email. So it'll be support at your domain. It makes it look much more professional, and it's going to be necessary for this process. Theme design. So there are plenty of free themes. And I'll give you a little tip. The best free theme, in my opinion, is the Brooklyn theme. It is one that I used for almost a year. I did my first several million dollars in revenue on that theme. And it's still a very efficient theme. All right. Moving on, after you've designed your theme. Okay, so another thing with theme design, guys, is stock photos. Just go to, there's a lot of free stock photo websites. You can just Google this. I think one is like Pexels, something like that, P-E-X-E-L, something like, I don't know, just Google free stock photos. You can find some really high quality photos to just fill out your theme, make it look professional, make it look like a legitimate brand. And if you're struggling with the creation process, it's really good to just model it after a big retailer or a brand that you like. Just find something that you think looks really good and then put your own spin on that. But there's no reason why you should struggle with this portion of the process when there's so many good examples out there for you to model your business after. One of the great advantages of Shopify are the variety of really wonderful apps that are available. So Shopify has an app store, and you can spend days and days looking at all the apps in there, and it's very easy to go overboard, which I definitely advise not doing. Generally, my stores have 6 or 7 apps, and they don't all affect like the layout of the store. Some of them are related to currency conversion. Some of them are tracking the financials of the store, things like that. So just don't go crazy on the apps. Just stay away from anything that looks very spammy, that takes attention away from the customer's intent to make a purchase. So just use common sense. If it turns it into something, if it turns your store into something that like you would no longer trust, then remove the app from your store. And the more apps that you install and then uninstall can cause issues with your theme. So again, just be careful with the amount of apps that you install. And it's always good to ask for advice, like just asking somebody that's in the dropshipping industry. You can send me a DM if I'm available. I'll try to answer it for you. Hey, what do you think of this app? I've also done a lot of YouTube videos on the subject of apps, so feel free to check out my channel for that. Keep your source simple and clean. Money like speed. The focus in my stores, it's all about speed. I don't want the customers to spend a lot of time on my site. I want them to be expedited through the checkout process as fast as possible, so I don't have a lot of pop-ups going on. Just keep it simple, keep it clean, keep it professional. Again, money likes speed, so focus on that. The most important part of this business, I've said this a million times and I'll always continue to say this, is product research, guys. I have seen the ugliest stores in the world produce 7 figures. I have seen people with very little knowledge of Facebook ads do 7 figures because they found the right product. They got lucky with the right product and they made a bunch of money. So product research is extremely important. The number 1 website for product research is AliExpress. And so that's the best place to start. The next option would be Alibaba, but this is generally for people that are interested in buying in bulk. You'll find a lot of similar products on Alibaba, but most of the retailers on Alibaba are, again, selling in bulk. Taobao is essentially the Amazon of China. You won't be able to drop ship from Taobao like you can from AliExpress. Like on AliExpress, if somebody buys an item that you found on AliExpress, you can go into AliExpress and have them ship it all the way to the US from China just by using AliExpress.com. Taobao, you can't do that. Taobao only ships regionally to China, I believe. But if you have a partnership with a fulfillment agency like Titan 3PL, then you can sell Taobao products because we'll buy the products. We'll just contact the factory that is producing those products, bring it into our warehouse, and then ship it to the US for you or to whatever country that you're selling in. So there's a ton of theories out there, guys, about what types of products you should sell. The most popular theory, most popular thing that people teach is that you should be looking for trending products. You should try to jump on the bandwagon of something that's already doing very well for somebody. And I'm very much against this theory. The primary reason is that you'll never gain as much momentum as the person that found that product. It's going to be very difficult for you to compete with the amount of data that they've collected in their store. So, data they've collected in their Facebook account. So, and not only that, but they've already collected so many sales that you're essentially picking up crumbs. So a lot of coaches, a lot of gurus out there will tell you to sell trending products because it is very easy to pick up some crumbs. You'll get some sales because people are already accustomed to seeing this product in their feed, but it's very rare that you'll be able to turn a profit on a trending product like that unless you get in super early. But a lot of people they'll get that like first sale, right? They just got into drop shipping. They found a trending product. They got their first sale because they picked up somebody else's crumbs. And so now they're really excited and they keep spending money on this product, hoping that it'll turn profitable. And they end up going, thousands of dollars into debt trying to sell this product that's never going to be profitable. So it's a huge mistake that I see a lot of people make. It's much more, it is much better to find untapped products. Okay. So, the next most popular theory or method that people teach is to find products that solve a problem. So just something that solves a problem in a person's life, right? I need this product because it's going to make my life better. That's the theory of it. I've disproven this a million times by selling completely worthless and pointless things to people, things that do not solve problems because it looked like a high quality product. They thought they were getting a good deal and my website looked clean and professional. That is why I'm able to sell products that don't solve problems. So it's not essential. Selling problem-solving products is a thing. It definitely can be useful, but it's not one of the criteria that my team uses for finding winning products. Another theory that people teach is just to promote the best-selling products that you see on AliExpress, the ones with the most orders. Again, the same problem that we had with the first theory. It's just these products are already burnt out the majority of the time. So now we do use those for research. If we know that these products have sold very well in the past, then maybe we'll go 10 pages deep on AliExpress and try to find similar products, things that have similar attributes, but don't have as many sales. And then we might be able to turn one of those products into a winner. A lot of people teach that you should use spy tools. I don't have anything against spy tools, but again, you're still dealing in the realm of competition. You're still competing with people when you're stealing products from people. And it's just not part of our primary research method. And a lot of the spy tools are very expensive, $100, $150 a month. It is not necessary. If you go into AliExpress and you focus on eye-catching products that have the appearance being high quality, not just some cheap piece of garbage, right? It looks like this is a quality item. They don't have a ton of sales. You haven't seen a lot of people selling it, so it's untapped. And make sure that you're actually able to make a profit. So you've done the math. You say, this thing cost $10. I'm pretty sure I can sell it for 40. You've done the math. You know you can make a profit, but maybe it's $30 on AliExpress, but you really feel like you can only sell it for 40, then you probably can't make a profit because you still have to spend money on ads. So make sure you're doing all the math along the way while you're doing your product research, and it will definitely help you guys. It's a very common mistake I see with people that have been doing this for years. They still aren't doing the math on whether or not they can make a profit. And especially when you scale up, the cost per purchase rises a lot. So you might be able to make a profit at $5 a day. Like your ad budget might be $5 a day. You might be able to make a profit. But if you want to sell thousands and thousands of this unit, you're going to have to run a much higher budget, which means your ad spend per purchase is going to be a whole lot higher. So just make sure you're thinking about that. You're thinking long-term. You're thinking big. You want to think big. You want to find products that are going to make you 6 figures. You don't want to find products that are going to make you $100. That's the way you want to think about it. Okay, so Facebook ads can be the most daunting part of this process. But I promise you it's far more simple than a lot of people make it out to be. So in order to get started with Facebook ads, you're going to need a business manager. If you already have a Facebook account, I'm assuming everybody does, you just go to business.facebook.com and you can create a business manager account. Each person is allowed to have 2 business managers. Okay, so if you have a Facebook account, you're allowed to create 2 different business managers. Each business manager is allowed to have 5 ad accounts. Typically, the way this works is you'll have 1 ad account per store. Some people will run multiple ad accounts per store, but generally starting out, you really only need to focus on 1 ad account per store. And then you might want, like once you create an LLC for your business, you dedicate that 1 business manager to that LLC, and you might have 5 stores under that 1 business, and that's totally fine. That's why you need multiple ad accounts. So you'll create a business manager, and then you'll create an ad account. All of these things, you can find the step-by-step instructions on like Facebook Help or on YouTube, guys, if you just Google this stuff. I just want to give you the step-by-step. This are the things that you need to do. I don't have to actually show you how to do it because the resources are out there. If you want to see me do it, it is all in the course as well and set up exactly how I do it. But this is a great outline for you guys. So once you create an ad account, you need to create a pixel for that ad account. The pixel is what connects. It's the link between your Shopify store and Facebook. It's the link that provides all the data, all the things that are happening on your your Shopify store. It's communicating all that data back to Facebook. So it's the thing that's telling Facebook that you got a purchase, or that somebody looked at your website, or that somebody added something to your cart. It's the mechanism that's communicating that data back to Facebook. It's also collecting and storing that data for you as well, so that you can make audiences based off of that data down the road. A lot of people, I've made several YouTube videos on this as well. A lot of people put a lot of importance on the pixel. The pixel is a necessary part of this process. There's nothing magical about it. It is a data reporting mechanism. It does not optimize. There's no such thing as like a good pixel and a bad pixel. So be sure to check out my YouTube channel if you're interested in that. I definitely break it down a lot more in depth, but we're just going through the basics here again. So business manager, ad account, pixel. And you're going to take that pixel and you're going to plug it into your Shopify store. It's very simple to do. Now, when you actually want to get into the advertising part of this process, the ads are broken down into 3 levels. So the way I generally organize, a lot of it is organizational. The way that I organize it is the first thing you do is you create a campaign. And that campaign is for 1 product. Okay, so maybe you have 5 products that you want to run ads for. You got them in your store, you uploaded the pictures, you wrote a good product description. You feel like these products are ready to be advertised. Then you'll need 5 campaigns because you have 5 products. So the campaign is the top level. It's basically just organizational. There's really no other purpose to campaigns other than just organizational purposes. So the next part of this process, after you've created a campaign for that product, then you create the ad set. And this is where a lot of the specifics come into play. So this is where you choose your targeting. You're going to pick the interest, the age group, the gender, the location of the audience. This is where you start to fine tune. Now, I keep things very, very simple here, guys. You can go crazy. You can do 5 interests and like subtract audiences from audiences and like get really specific with it. Just keep in mind, the more things that you customize at the ad set level, the more expensive your ad is going to be. So I keep things very simple. I want my ads to be very cheap because I believe that a winning product is going to sell no matter how specific I am. As long as I get in the ballpark, a winning product is going to sell. So if we're selling a pair of shoes, guys, the targeting is literally just shoes or sneakers or Nike or something like that. Just very broad, huge, giant audiences. Don't get obsessed with audience sizes. It's not important. I advertise to hundreds of millions of people. I'll advertise to 100,000 people. Big, small audiences. It doesn't make a big difference in your ability to be successful. So once you've picked your targeting, also the placement. So the placement is, where do you want your ads to show up in front of the customer? Do you want them to show up on Instagram? Do you want them to show up on Facebook? Do you want them to show up on Instagram stories or in their feed or on the explore page? Do you want them to show up in Facebook videos, or you want them to show up on the right-hand column on desktop? You get to pick the placement, okay? When you're just starting out, it's totally fine to do auto placements. I have a very specific way of handling the placements in my own ads, and I do reveal the way I do it in the course. But it's okay. You're not gonna fail because you do auto placements. It's okay to do auto placements. You might be able to fine tune it a little bit with some of my more advanced methods, but starting out, again, just keep it simple, guys. Most important thing is just taking the steps, getting the products out there, and reading the data. So after you've picked your targeting and your placement, you can go. The next part of the process is the ad level. So campaign, ad set, ad. The ad is the creative. It's the thing that the customer is actually going to see. It's the video or the picture that you decide to put in front of them, including the description. You get to put some words in there, right, and a link. That is what the ad is. Now, you can have multiple ads per ad set. I generally just do one so that I know what the customer is going to be seeing. But you can definitely run multiple ads per ad set if you like. There's nothing wrong with that. So going on to the next part of this process, retargeting is massive. It's so huge, guys. I cannot stress this enough. You can run negative on Facebook, okay? Like the conversions that you're getting from Facebook, that you're reading the data and you're like, oh my goodness, I'm going to be negative today, right? But if you have a really strong retargeting setup in your store, you can still turn it into a profit. You can still be profitable for that day. And we see this a lot. Retargeting can be the difference between losing money and making money on a daily basis. So having a really strong email retargeting system, SMS is huge right now. Catalog ads on Facebook, product-specific retargeting ads on Facebook. So utilizing the data, if somebody viewed the product in your store, you can just nail them with ads. Like I'm sure you've seen it. If you click on a link on Facebook, it takes you to a website. Then you start seeing ads for that website all the time. That's what I mean. There's very easy ways to set all that up. But again, make sure your retargeting game is on point. So for email and for SMS, it's going to be abandoned carts. Anybody that adds a product to their cart and they put their email in, you can start hitting them with an email flow. We use Klaviyo, but there are apps like Abandonment Protector and things like that as well. So just make sure you have a really good retargeting flow of 3 to 5 emails, hitting them, sequentially, like 1 day, 3 day, 5 day, 7 day, something like that. Hey, you forgot this item in your cart. Are you sure you don't want it? Give them a discount, stuff like that. They're huge. We usually see 15% of our revenue comes from retargeting. So it's a massive amount of money, guys. You definitely don't want to start running. You don't want to be running ads if you don't have your retargeting set up already. This part needs to be set up before you start running the ads. A lot of people will think, oh, we'll just do it later because it's retargeting. You want to have that stuff ready to go. That way you're recuperating all the ad spend. Even if you're not finding winners, you should still be recouping a lot of the ad spend that you're putting into Facebook ads, because you're capturing as many sales as possible. Even if you're not running profit, you still want to get as much of that money back as possible so that you can keep testing products. So team building, guys, as your business grows, you're going to need help, okay? For the first 8 to 9 months of my business, I did everything myself. I had a little bit of help from my wife in fulfilling the orders. God bless her for helping me with that. But I was doing all the customer service myself. And after a while, those tasks start to take away from the things that make you money. If you're spending 3 hours a day answering emails, then you're not spending those 3 hours doing product research. And product research is what's going to make you the most money, okay? So once you get to the point where your business is profitable, it's generating money, and these kind of mundane tasks are taking away from the revenue driving tasks, then it's time to start looking at hiring people to help you. And you can use Upwork or onlinejobs.ph. Upwork, you're going to find slightly higher quality help than you will on onlinejobs.ph, but it is going to be more expensive. You're going to pay for it. Onlinejobs.ph is the cheapest VA website you can find. It's based basically it's all virtual assistants from the Philippines. They speak English in the Philippines, but it's really hard for them to find jobs in the Philippines. So you could pay them $4 an hour, and they're going to be the best paid person in their family, right? So onlinejobs.ph is a great place to start. But if you're using VAs, make sure you're checking the work. Don't trust them. They are going to slack. They are going to be lazy. They are going to have days where they just don't work. So you have to keep on top of them. Spend 10 minutes a day checking their work. It's going to pay off dividends in the long run if you're checking their work. Jobs outside of your skill sets so again, like creating a logo or making a video ad for your product, things like that. You can use Fiverr or Upwork. Upwork has freelancers of every skill set. You can get pretty much anything done on Upwork, and same with Fiverr as well. So great place for you guys to look for things that you're not comfortable doing. You don't want to spend 2 weeks learning how to use Photoshop, then just pay somebody $20 to do the job for you. Fulfillment. So again, the way it works is a customer pays you for a product, then you go buy the product and ship it to them. And there's nothing wrong with doing that on AliExpress for a period of time. That's the best way to start. Once you get to the point where you're processing 20 orders or more per day, definitely hit up Titan 3PL. It's a fulfillment company that I created. You can go to titan3pl.com, fill out our application, and we'll get you started. Basically, we walk you through an installation of an app in your store that will automatically export the orders as they come in real time. So an order will come into your store, and it automatically goes to our warehouse, where our team will then get that product for you and ship it to the customer using our expedited shipping lines. So usually our shipping times are take half as long. So it usually takes 3 to 4 weeks using AliExpress for the customer to get their product, which results in lots of customer service, lots of time spent on customer service, telling people it's okay, the product's going to get there, don't worry. Spend a lot of time doing that. So it's better to get into a legitimate fulfillment center like Titan 3PL, where we can get them their product in like 10 days. And generally, you'll reduce the amount of customer service inquiries that you have by 50%. We're also able to get cheaper pricing than AliExpress because my business partner, Alex, he's Chinese. He speaks Chinese. He calls the factories directly. He negotiates the best price for you better than you ever could. So there's massive advantages. Not only do we take the work out of it because we've automated it, but we've also made the pricing cheaper, and we've also given you better service, faster shipping. So there's no catch-22 here, guys. We make a very slim profit margin. We're focused on long-term relationship building. There's no contracts. You don't have to use us for a year. It's just once you prove that you're serious about drop shipping, and you do that by doing 20 orders per day, we don't want to waste a lot of time onboarding people that are just interested. You know what I mean? So once you get 20 orders per day, we'll onboard you, we'll take good care of you, and we'll help you grow your business as legitimately and as efficiently as possible. So That is it for fulfillment. This is going to be the question and answer, guys. Start pumping out your questions, anything that you want me to answer. I'll do my best to do so right now. Tips on product research. So it's very simple. Don't overcomplicate this, guys. Trust your gut instincts here. You need to remember the audience that you are talking to. Okay, so if we're running ads on Facebook and Instagram, you have to understand the psychology of these people. These people are not shopping. They're looking at friends' photos, they're looking at Instagram models, they're looking at, whatever it is that they're into, right? So you have to deliver something that's going to break their concentration and turn them into a buyer. So it has to be compelling. It has to be eye-catching. That's the word that I use all the time. Eye-catching, and high quality. A high-quality product is going to convert a lot better than a low-quality product because these people are going to say, wow, this looks like a legitimate brand. This looks like a quality product. I want this. This is something that I want, right? And you've gotten their attention. You've convinced them it's quality, and they're getting it for a good deal. That's it right there. Now, that's not a foolproof plan to get a winner, but it's going to drastically increase your success rate in finding winning products. All right. When finding products on AliExpress, how can you tell whether a product's been scaled already? How do you know if a product's been scaled? You can bet. Okay, all of the big fish, the whales, the legends of drop shipping. None of these guys are using AliExpress, right? So if you see a product on AliExpress that has 1,000 orders, I bet you can multiply that by 10, and that's how many really there have been. How many orders there have really been? So if you're seeing 1,000 on AliExpress, it's probably closer to 10,000. The people that are still ordering AliExpress are the ones that are picking up the crumbs, generally speaking, okay? It's very rare that a person will be operating at scale and doing thousands of orders and still manually plugging orders into AliExpress. So just you have to have that thought process. If you're seeing thousands and thousands of orders on there, guys, I guarantee it's 10 times that once you factor in the people that don't use AliExpress. Wow, over in England, 11 p.m., starts working in 3 hours. Thanks for coming, man. That's awesome. Do I recommend reviews apps? As long as it's legitimate reviews, guys. I don't believe in importing reviews from AliExpress. I don't believe in fabricating reviews. In fact, fabricating reviews is illegal. It's against, U.S. laws. So there are people out there that teach that, which is very unfortunate. We don't use review apps in our stores. Do I have a lot of repeat customers? A repeat customer rate is usually like 5 to 7, maybe 10% max. And a lot of that is because of our email and SMS retargeting flows. So somebody places an order and we start hitting them with discounts right away because we want them to place that second order within the first week before they start wondering like, hey, why is my product taking 2 weeks to get here or something? We want to get that second order before they start realizing that it's a drop shipping store. How do you know if a product is good if there aren't any reviews on it on AliExpress, assuming that you're not buying samples? So for me personally, my fulfillment center, Titan 3PL, our warehouse inspects all the products that we bring in to make sure that they are quality items, that we're not going to get a lot of complaints on it. For you guys, unfortunately, you're just going to have to take that risk, okay? Use common sense. If it looks like a $200 item and they're selling it for $5, probably not going to be super quality. If they're using professional photos and they're charging like $5 for an item, they probably just stole those pictures off Google and selling a cheap knockoff. So use some common sense there, but also at the same time, you're just gonna have to try, right? You try, customer complains, you tell them, okay, here's the deal, you ship it back and we'll give you a refund. You can use digital mailboxes in the US to make returns a lot easier, things like that. How do you get past the $50 limit on an ad account beginning when testing multiple products? I've never had an issue with this, and actually I used a brand new business manager last week, brand new ad account, and I think we surpassed the $50 limit like the first day. They're gonna bill you. Once you max it out, then they increase it. As long as you don't have any failed payments. If you have a failed payment, they're not gonna let you increase it. But it should automatically and incrementally increase as long as you're paying it off, as long as the payments are successful on the ad account. Tips to boost conversion rate. Best advice for that is to find better products. If you're wasting a lot of time trying to optimize or to boost your conversion rate, then that's time you're taking away from product research, when a winning product is going to have a good conversion rate. Okay, there's zero way to take a losing product and improve the conversion rate, because it's a losing product. The key to this business is all about the product, is finding those winners. No question, just appreciate your content. Thanks, man. It means a lot. What do you think about one product stores? I don't think there's anything wrong with them. I just think that a general store has so much more potential. You're going to invest, if doing a single product store. Again, I made an entire YouTube video about this a couple weeks back. Actually, I think I've done 2 of them on this topic as well. Single product stores means you're all invested in one product. It's higher risk. This is a massive time risk. You're building an entire store around one product that may not sell. Okay, rather than testing 20 products a week in a general store. 95% of your customers are not going to look at the store. They land on the product page and they buy, or they don't and they leave. Okay, they're only looking at the product page. Very few customers browse around your site. Remember, they are not shopping. Okay, this is an impulse purchase. You stop them from browsing on Facebook. They're making an impulse, irresponsible decision. They're going to buy or they're not, and they're not going to browse around your store. So that's why I think single product stores are kind of a waste of time, in my opinion. They do run slightly higher conversion rates, but again, you're only scaling one product. I'll scale 20 to 30 products on a single store. That's the only way you're going to run a 7-figure a month store, is if you're scaling 20 or more products. You're just missing out on so much potential by investing into a single product store. Can you use Titan 3PL to test products? It depends. So it's just something that your account manager is going to have to work out with you. And I want to say, yes, you can. But sometimes, and what we'll do is, it's kind of a product by product basis. We might say, like, if you're not bringing in, more than 5 of these a day or something, then it's kind of counterproductive to do so. So it's just something that we work out with you on a product by product, day by day basis. And that's the significant advantage of working with us, is that we are very communicative. We're very transparent. We want the best for your business, and we're going to help you make the best decisions for your business. If you saturate a product in 3 to 6 weeks and the sales slow down, do you remove the product from your store? No, I don't take it out. I just leave it in there, because it'll keep getting sales, guys. Like, especially with all the retargeting that's still running. Once you've had all that traffic on a specific product page, it actually gives you really good ranking on Google, things like that. So it's just, there's no point in taking it out. I don't see the logic behind that. Sales permits from the government before we starting an online store. That is just something you're going to have to ask one of your local attorneys. I can't give you legal advice or tax advice. It would be very irresponsible of me to do so. Payment plan for the course. So I put on there that you can split it up into 3 payments of $6.99. $6.99 every 30 days, basically. I've never done this before. It's the first time I've ever done a payment plan. So if that's something that you're interested in, and feel free to shoot me a DM or an email or something, and we can talk about it. If you test products and some of them get orders but they're not winners, do you fulfill them? We always fulfill them, guys. Not only is it, I think it's, unless you're selling the product for less than the cost, then you're losing money by refunding them. Like, you already spent the money on the ads, that you're out that money, right? You might as well keep the $50 on that $10 product. You might as well ship it out. There's no point. I don't see the logic behind refunding it. We don't always buy samples, guys. We very rarely do, actually. Stuck on store building after buying your course, more insights. I show you exactly how to do it, like step by step. I'm not sure what you're gonna have to be more specific on what part you're struggling with. I'd be happy to answer it. And again, if you bought the course, please ask the VIP group. The VIP group is extremely helpful. I'm in there every single day answering client questions. So that's going to be the best. If you're in the course, the best place to ask questions is the VIP group. Again, this comes with, this is a lifetime access thing to the VIP group on Facebook. Once you buy the course, you're in the group for life, and I'm always going to be answering those questions. Should you start an LLC right away? I highly, if you're serious about this, yes, you might as well, guys. You can always close the LLC down if it doesn't work out. The day that I knew my life changed forever on e-commerce, when I tripled my salary. I was working 80 hours a week as a chef, and I tripled my salary. And I told myself, if I can continue this for 3 months, if I can maintain a 3x on my salary for 3 months, I'll quit. And it happened, and I quit, and I haven't looked back, and it was like almost 3 years ago. So biggest winner did $4 million. I have revealed that product to the VIP group. It's the only place that I've given it away. I actually ended up buying a trademark and developing custom products out of it. So yeah, $4 million on a single product, on a single creative. Single creative too. Exit plan for e-commerce. Sure. Dropshipping is not going anywhere, guys. I mean, a lot of people, ever since I started, I've been doing this for more than 3 years now, people have been saying dropshipping's dying, dropshipping's dying. And like, honestly, it's better than it's ever been. I have so many students doing 7 figures. Like I'm losing count of how much money my students have made. And people that have no experience are just like blowing away people that have been doing it for years using my methods. It's really unbelievable. And now that we have professional fulfillment centers, it's just like, we're making the industry better. It's getting better. It's not going anywhere. Let's say Facebook disappears. There's always going to be another platform for us to advertise on. We just adapt, right? That's what we're going to do. You should always be thinking long-term too, like building a brand. Maybe you find something. Dropshipping is wonderful for cash flow. Okay. Once you've got this cash flow coming in from dropshipping, you can reinvest that money into brand building. And that's a great exit strategy. Or maybe you're taking that cash flow and you're putting it into real estate or something else, right? But dropshipping is a wonderful way for somebody with a very low budget to just make a lot of money if you do it right. I mean, it's just unbelievable the amount of lives I've seen changed over the last few years from dropshipping. It's kind of hard. It's really hard to believe sometimes. Working 96 hours straight within the next 4 days, going back and forth between 3 jobs in order to make this happen. That's fucking awesome, man. I have so much respect for that. You should be proud of yourself. I love that. I love people that are willing to do whatever it takes, man. Like, you're going to succeed. If you're willing to do that, you're going to succeed. New strategies on Facebook CBO. I've already released my CBO strategy to the VIP group. So, yeah. It's in there, and we will be continuing to develop that strategy. But the way that it's laid out already in the VIP group is great and it works very well. It's the best that we can do with CBO right now. So I still don't like CBO. I still don't think that it's the right move for Facebook to make, but it is what it is. Like I said, we got to adapt and we got to grow with the system. So that's what we're going to do. And we still have 2.5 months before it's mandatory, right? Or 1.5 months. I'm not sure which part of February it's rolling out, but we still got a little bit of time. So, all right, guys, that's it for the webinar. Thank you so much for attending. I wish all of you the best of luck. Feel free to join the ECOM Titans Facebook group. There's a free group and ask questions there. I'll answer them for you. Send me a DM. I'll answer your questions. Make sure you check out my YouTube channel. I did a 30-day video series very recently and addressed basically all of the most important questions related to dropshipping. Very, very valuable stuff. And yeah, thank you guys for attending. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a great night. And those of you that came out at like 2 o'clock in the morning, that's great. It's really flattering. So anyways, see you guys later.